Hey guys, Chad here with Palate Bourbon, and today we're going to be talking about Backbone Big Bash blend of straight American whiskeys. So this blend is made up of 3 different mash bills from MGP, and those mash bills that are in this blend are 95.5 rye whiskey, 75.21 bourbon, and a 60.36 bourbon. Very rye heavy bourbon mash bills with an extremely high rye content in the rye whiskey mash bill, and this blend is made up of different finishes. Let's go ahead and crack this, and we have a pour. I also want to say thank you, Backbone, for sending me this sample for the purpose of a review. I'm using a Wee Glen from Whiskey Ambitions, the Drink More Bourbon Wee Glen. I love this thing. I always try to use a standard size Glen, but this has been my go-to pretty much for the last 3 months now since it came out. If you want one of these, whiskeyambitions.com, not a sponsor. A lot of mint and fruit, spearmint, cherry, apple. It's like a fruit punch with a hint of mint. Yeah, fruit punch and spearmint on the nose. I know that sounds kind of flat, but like a lot of red fruit. There's grape and apple, a little tropically, like charred pineapple. You know, it's brown sugar, it's buttery, and then the mint is kind of there. Everything's like mint apple, mint cherry. It's kind of like the coexisting 2 flavors, but it just sounds easier to say mint fruit punch. Let's have a taste. So with this being classified as an American whiskey and having finished whiskey in the blend, it doesn't have to display an age statement and all those things. Could have flavors, colors, whatever added. It does not. I can promise you Backbone would not do that. They are not that kind of company. They are honest and they will be as forward with you as legally possible. But what I will say is this is a fruit bomb on the palate. I mean, it's got the apple, the grape, the pineapple, the cherry, toasted oak and caramel, brown sugar, everything just like boom, it's explosion. Like Big Bash, I'm sure that has an Americana type of history behind the name, but it is just an explosion of flavor. Starts off very rye forward. You're getting the grain, the mint, little straw, hay note, citrus, burnt orange peel, and then you get this nice chocolatey oak note, almost like there's something double oaked and like a heavy char 4. And then it goes right into that fruit explosion. The nose was strong on mint. There's not a ton of mint on the palate. It's just, as soon as it hits your tongue, you get a little bit of that mint, quickly fades, which is nice. And I'm not sure how that really would have transferred over to the palate, being so strong on the nose. Very perfumey and fragrant, but I would not want that on the palate. And it doesn't have it, so it's a very good balance. Getting all that rye, which I mean, the base 3, 95, 21, and 36, that's a lot of rye. It's a lot of rye in the mash bill. So I expected a spice bomb, honestly. I know it's finished in wine barrels and probably cognac, Armagnac rum, double oak toasted, who knows what. But I just expected it to be a spice bomb. It is not. It's so fruity. It's so decadent. It's the 110 proof does not come through. So I'm not sure if they re-barreled this entire blend into something else, like a secondary or a used barrel. There is a note in there that reminds me of things aged in used bourbon barrels, such as like Scotch and Irish whiskey. And it's just that it's like a slight grain, malt, caramel note that you really only noticed in things aged in used barrels, but it's also typically because of the grain. This has a little bit of that. It's not off-putting, but it is in there. Overall, I'd say I really would enjoy this. I'm gonna go in for one last nose, one last sip. So a little more ethanol is coming through the nose now, a little more of the 110 proof, but not too much. I mean, I know this is a Wee Glen, but I can pretty much just stick my nose in there and take a big whiff. It's not bothering me. There's a touch of it though. I just want to be honest and mention that. A little more of the earthen notes coming through on the nose profile now. Some of that hay and straw and malt that I got on the palate. Final sip. Same as before, even in the glass, 10 minutes later. Still very much that rye punch in the beginning, that nice spice. A little clove and cinnamon coming through now as it sits. It's like a numbing spice on the tip of my tongue. But once that chocolate oak note hits and it transitions over into all that fruit, the fruit's where it's at. Like it's now a lot darker as I've sat here talking and recording, but it is very much a fruit bomb. I stand behind that first impressions. I think it's delicious. And if this is in your area, give it a shot. I'm not sure the retail price on this. Backbone's pretty cost effective with all their stuff, usually ranging between 40 and 100 bucks, except for the 15-year was a little more. I think that was 150, still 15-year for 150. But yeah, if you see this anywhere between 40 and 75 bucks, or you're hell even 100, if these notes sound amazing to you and you want to try it for 100 bucks, give it a shot. Thank you, Backbone, for sending me this sample for the purpose of this review. I hope to find a full bottle of this soon. It is very good. I enjoyed it a lot, and this sample will not last me very long. Have a great day. Cheers, y'all.